Howdy music lovers, Tom from Blakgraz here. Welcome to Guitar N Gab. That was just a small snippet of my song Punch, which is basically about a rooster who keeps the farm in order. Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about this last weekend over at Olmos Icehouse for 3 different special events at the same time. Let's get to it. Alright y'all, so Olmos Icehouse was amazing. Ashley, thank you so much for having us back again. That was my second time there. The first time there, it was freezing cold. We literally had to plug in Rufus because it was so cold out that it actually makes it hard for the batteries to operate. So we have that new lithium battery. If you've been watching our videos, you know he's been working way better. But when it gets that cold, you actually need to wrap stuff around the batteries to help keep them warm and or be plugged in so there's current going through them constantly to kind of keep them up to temperature and functioning properly. So it was that cold last time we were there, the first time we'd ever been to Olmos. And it was funny because our first time there also, I started the first song, Seeking Glory, which is that real fast that song, and son of a gun, everybody's heads just went, what is that? They'd never heard that, right? But they liked it. So it was, she had booked us immediately after the show to come back for a 3-party special event on the 14th of February. Now, if you know what February 14th is, obviously it's usually Valentine's Day. Well, that was one of the special events. There was also a second special event that she was doing. She wanted to incorporate a Mardi Gras celebration, and they were selling basically steak and crawfish dinners, and it was so good.
Comal was the company.
What's the name of it?
Comal, C-O-M-A-L, crawfish something. We followed them on Facebook. I'll tag them or something down below.
Comal Seafood?
Comal, yeah, Comal or Comal, C-O-M-A-L.
Comal Seafood. Terrence and Kelly, really nice folks, and the steak that I had was amazing. Now, I'm not a shellfish guy myself, but I heard that a lot of people really enjoyed the crawfish. And the cool thing about it was only $5 for a ticket. And so then once you got there, that was just so they knew how much crawfish to bring. It was just basically $35 for the whole meal.
I think
the $5 was just a deposit.
Yeah, the $35 was either, I think it was close to 5 pounds of crawfish too, which was,
yeah,
from a lot of people said, wow, that's a really good price. So.
That's a lot of crawfish, and they were there all night too. It was super cool too because there was a couple guys playing inside acoustically, me playing outside, and then after I was done there was a DJ as well, so it went all day and night. And the third special event that happened at that show, this was just this last Saturday, the 14th. It was Ashley's birthday too, so she's walking around with this big ribbon on and a crown, and she got cash on her like it's Mardi Gras, you know, and beads and everything. It was so much fun. So she was having a good time. The only thing I want to pick a bone to pick with her, she was working behind the bar on her birthday. So I don't know how that works, but I guess, you know, she must love what she does, so it's okay. But it was a really good time. It was an honor to be there for her birthday and for those 2 special events. You know, we're starting to find that more often too as we book this year. We're getting booked for more big holidays. Like I just booked 4th of July, and now we've done Valentine's Day.
We also have the day before Thanksgiving and the 2 days after Thanksgiving already booked as well. Because Thanksgiving, everybody's home. I mean, even us, we chill on that day. I cook a little bit for us, but that's it. But yeah, that's we don't do anything day for us.
But this is kind of a new development for us as an original show touring around the country. Typically, on the more major holidays, those are cover band days or tribute band days, because people want to hear songs they know on their big holiday, right?
Well, the festival, the Middle of Everywhere Music Festival,
yeah,
that is literally Labor Day weekend. So that Friday is when you're performing, and
so
Labor Day is Monday.
holiday.
So it's technically another major holiday weekend. Yeah.
So this is a very interesting and exciting new development for Blakgraz, because as an all original show, getting booked on a major holiday is especially up against cover bands, is an extraordinary feat. Now, even to take that even further, while we were at Olmos this Saturday, I met a fella named Ethan, and he asked if we play weddings. Now, I can't say why he asked if we play weddings, because I don't think he's actually shared his intent with whoever. However, I said, yeah, I mean, I've actually done a wedding before at Silos here in Texas. I did it at a place called Silos. I forget the name of the town. Was it Bulverde or
no? It was in Seguin area. It was Seguin, the Braunfels area. Yeah.
So at Silos used to have I played there, and they had somebody hired me to play their wedding, and I didn't even know it was a wedding. And they said they just liked my music and they wanted to have a ceremony there. So fortunately, I have enough material. I actually had something for the garter dance. I had something for the father-daughter dance. I had something for the first dance for the couple. I had, line dancing music, stuff that people could boot scoot to and stuff like that. That's the thing about the variety of stuff that I've written, is that it applies. This all comes back to my experience with the show band when I first went on the road, right? The show band, and we used to play all those Caesar resorts, which are basically honeymooners, right? And they're all just got done having their wedding. So we knew all the stuff that they would play at a wedding, plus extra stuff, plus the show. Plus I've played other weddings before as a cover artist, and so I know what is expected at weddings, right? What do they expect you to do and how to MC those things. So the only difference now is I'm applying all of that experience with all original tunes. So when I wrote these songs, I knew that they would be applicable for different things. Sort of like when I see young kids and I start playing Sweet Thing to get them, jumping around and having fun. It's the same type of thing. So anyway, now we're hitting major holidays and people are looking at us like, hey, we'd like you to come and play our wedding. And it's like, yeah, but we're an all original show. You're sure? And they're like, yeah, we love your music.
And we'll be back at Olmos in March.
Yeah, I was getting there. So we are, and I asked her, now we've got March dates open. Do you want one? She said, yep, I'll take you on the 7th. So we're going back down there on the 7th again to party it up. So if you didn't get to experience Olmos Icehouse the first 2 times, you are not going to miss this one, because after this, when end of March, beginning of April hits, we're off to the East Coast. And then it's all over the place for a whole year until December again. So if you're in the area, make sure you hit us up while we're still close.
Because we're only doing a few shows in Texas. I mean, we're getting things road ready, both on and off Rufus, just for our sanity to have some bit of downtime, possibly record.
Downtime. Yeah, that's funny.
Possibly you recording time, but even that we haven't had much time for.
Yeah, there's no such thing as downtime, as we have learned. But the good news is, we're growing really fast, and that Olmos Icehouse party was a perfect example of how things are starting to kind of get bigger and bigger for Blakgraz. So it's very exciting to share that with everybody who's watching these videos. So huge thanks to Ashley for having us. It was a wonderful time. Mardi Gras, Valentine's Day, and her birthday combined. What an honor to be part of that. And so many nice people too. When we got done playing, so many people come up and were like, wow, that was amazing. You were awesome. And I was able to hand out pics and thank them and shake hands and everything. It's just really nice when people enjoy. Now, the other thing I'm gonna mention, which is probably what you're thinking, is that Lonnie and Laura from Dave's place at JD Southside actually came out on Saturday. And it was the first time I've ever seen them outside of Dave's store. And they were dressed up. I almost didn't recognize them.
Well, Lonnie usually has a baseball hat on, like Dave does. And I was like, oh, it's Lonnie.
Yeah, Lonnie normally looks like a craggy old man. He's all grumpy and, right? But he was he deserves it. He beats up on Dave all the time. But it was awesome because they were both dressed up. They looked really nice. Laura looked beautiful. And they brought their son, Tim. And it was really nice to meet Tim. Tim was a really swell fellow. And they stayed for a long time. This was the first time ever that they've seen my show for all the years that we've known each other through the store. First time they've seen my show in person. And it was the first time I got to play down at Dave's place where I sing about them being at the store. And I got to play last night for Laura. She was one of the first people to ever hear that idea for a song before I ever finished writing it. She was one of the first ones that ever heard it. And so I got to play that for her too.
Well, she liked it too. She didn't just hear it. She's like, oh, I like that one.
Yeah, she says she liked that style. So I was really excited when I first started recording that. So it was, I finally got to have them in the audience and play those songs for them live and tell the whole audience, hey, these are the two people that are in this song, and I've been singing this song all over the country, and there they are sitting right there, you know. I should have said you better get their autographs while you can. They're only $10, you know, $10 per signature. But anyway, so it was just wonderful to have them come out to the show and to meet their son. And they stayed as long as they could, but it did get chilly at night.
Well, because it rained. It had rained, and then the moisture made it just cold enough once, because the clouds went away. So all that warmth that was there kind of.
Yeah, and they were dressed up, so they weren't in heavy layers, right? They were expecting to be someplace inside, and we were outside. And as per Texas, it was rainy at first, and then it got warm, and it was fine when I started, and then it got kind of cool as the night went on, so they had to excuse themselves. But I made sure I stopped just long enough to give them hugs and then kept the music rolling. So thanks again for y'all coming out to that show. But that was, I mean, it was just an amazing weekend, and we're just so grateful to everybody who's watching these videos, everybody who's spreading the word about us, all the venues that are hiring us. It's looking really, really good for 2026. We've got some serious growth happening, and not just return shows, but growth in new states and new venues. So this is very exciting time for Blakgraz. If you're just tuning in and this is the first time you've ever seen Guitar N Gab, you came at a good time. Things are going to get really exciting really fast here this year. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe. Also, did I mention? I didn't mention the shirt. I've got my new West Wind t-shirt on. These are friends of ours out of St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, a restaurant at the airport up there that I play at.
You can literally fly in and catch a bike.
You can literally fly in. In fact, we parked on the parking spots for the planes one time during the air show by accident. We were sleeping overnight in the parking lot, and we hear this plane pulling up right next to the roof. It's like, did we park on the runway? No, it's just that's where they were parking the planes. And so we had to wake up, pull up the jacks, and move Rufus. Also, of course, I've got Betty today. I want to make sure I shout out to Vaughn at Custom Build. This is my D-sharp guitar. This is also the guitar that Vaughn worked on and said this has to be the best sounding guitar he's ever built. And you know what? After playing her again this weekend, I have to agree. They're all amazing, but she has something special, that's for sure. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check out the links down below. We've got CDs for sale and merch online. Also, at shows, we've got handmade t-shirts as well as emotional support beverage koozies. And even better is I would love to be able to shake your hand, look you in the eye, and thank you so much for everything you're doing to help Blakgraz keep rolling. See y'all next time.